Beautiful people, we will get rolling in just a moment. Be patient with me as I set everything up. In the meantime, go ahead and take a moment and presence yourself. Tune into your breath. In through the nose, out through whatever feels most natural, normal. Okay, we are just about ready. Cool, let's roll. Now, if you're tuning in live, comment down below the word #live. If you're watching the replay, comment down below the word #replay. Today's masterclass, today's topic is all about using hypnosis to overcome imposter syndrome. Now, before we get rolling, let us all take a moment and tap in and tune in and simply just presence ourselves. We live in a world where we are just constantly distracted. So perhaps you can put your phone on do not disturb and really just use this as an opportunity to prioritize your mental health and perhaps just as equally important, your success. Because when you're able to overcome imposter syndrome, it's like you are released, like you allow yourself to be free for perhaps the first time in your entire life. So many of us are walking around like, I don't think I'm good enough. And this is natural, normal. I get it. I've been there. I get into those stages sometimes. But today we're going to be talking about how to use hypnosis to overcome this, okay? But again, before we get going, let us take a moment and presence ourselves, and we can just simply do that with 4 breaths. In through the nose, and then release, and we'll do that 3 more times. Really just setting the intention to be present now, to be focused now. 2 more times. If there's anything that I shared throughout this masterclass, please comment down below. Let me know what resonates with you. Let me know if you have any questions, comments, or anything else that might come up for you. Now, before we actually get into the hypnosis portion of overcoming imposter syndrome, there's a few things that we have to discuss so that we are kind of operating on a solid foundation, if you will, as opposed to just going into hypnosis blindly. Now, who this video is specifically designed for, it's for all of you listening who there's so much untapped potential inside of you. You're meant to serve a lot of people and help a lot of people transform their lives with your unique, special gifts, but for whatever reason, you keep your mouth shut, or you're not as bold and as expressive as you're capable of because you feel like an imposter, or perhaps you're afraid of judgment, kind of similar things, right? So that's who this video is for. It's also for people who are self-aware enough to know that I want to change more than I want to feel good. I want to create an impact more than I want to remain in my comfort zone. If that's you, keep on watching. If you want to remain in your comfort zone more so than you want to fulfill your life's mission, then this video it's not for you yet, okay? So that's who this is for. Now, the outcome of this video is true emotional freedom, so you can express yourself, so you can serve more people, have a bigger impact, and as a result, create more income for yourself, for your family, for your loved ones. True emotional freedom, because when you conquer yourself, you conquer the world. Take a moment and breathe into that. When you conquer yourself, you conquer the world. Before we can use hypnosis to overcome imposter syndrome, there's 4 steps that I want to walk us through. And this is to cultivate as much awareness of self as we possibly can and really identify the outcome. So rather than just kind of having this idea of I want to overcome imposter syndrome, let's be more specific. What exactly do you want to create? What exactly do you want to tap into and feel and embody? Now, this is kind of a work along video. This is not a video that is designed to fill your head up with more information. This is a video to inspire you to change your behavior. So I'm going to be asking you questions, and I encourage every single one of you to journal to these questions. Don't just think about them. Get them out. Make this real and pragmatic, as opposed to just a bunch of theory. We have too many smart people walking around. We have way too many smart people walking around, and we have far less embodied people. If you want to embody this, if you want to embody your greatest self, let's make this pragmatic and let's write. Let's use our body. Okay. So step one, to overcome imposter syndrome, we have to first understand what exactly it is we are afraid of. So imposter syndrome, I suppose we can call that like an umbrella term, like a very general fear. What specifically are you afraid of? I'm afraid of people. For example, I'm afraid people will find out I'm not good enough, or I'm afraid people will realize I'm not perfect, or I have my own vices. Oh my goodness, if somebody found that out, that would be the worst. This is a serious fear a lot of people have. I get it. I know I'm kind of poking fun at it. But step one, what are you afraid of? Just write down whatever comes up for you. I'm afraid somebody will realize I'm not a college graduate, or I'm not certified in X, Y, and Z, or I don't have this amount of money in my bank account. I don't know what it is. It's all unique to you. I've only been with this amount of people, right? But yes, take a moment, write down 5 to 20 things, right, that you're afraid of. This is to simply shine a light on these unconscious tendencies. That way, when they present themselves and they begin to take over our body, we're far more sensitive to them. So when they do come up, we notice them right away, as opposed to them influencing our behavior and we're acting in accordance to this influence, and then like we don't notice it until a day or hours later. We have to identify what this fear is, so we become really sensitive to it. So the moment it presents itself, we're like, whoa, I got to change. I got to stop this habit in its tracks. Moving on. Step two, fears don't happen in a vacuum. They're not just there. They are a byproduct of a belief that we're holding on to. Okay. So step two is, listen to me carefully. What must you believe to be true about yourself and the world around you in order to have those fears in your body, in your mind, right? What must you believe to be true in order for those fears to influence your mind and your body? Take a moment. Perhaps let's try to come up with an example here. Perhaps one of your fears in step one was, I'm afraid people will realize I'm not certified or qualified. Yeah, I suppose that's a good word. And then what I must believe to be true in order to have that fear is, I must believe that I'm not worthy as who I am naturally. And I have to have a certain degree or certification to be worthy. You must believe that if that's something you are afraid of. You don't just fear it. You have to believe something to fear it. So listen to me carefully. Step two, every single fear you wrote down, next to it or underneath it, every single fear you wrote down, I want you to write what you must believe to be true in order to have this fear. Okay. Now we're starting to kind of wake up. By doing some simple self-inquiry, as opposed to just like having it in your mind. I really want you to write this stuff down. It's going to help tremendously and really provide a massive shift in your life. Okay, moving on. I have a sales call here soon, so I have to be kind of quick here. Step three, admit defeat to your beliefs. This is a bit vague. This is really subtle. However, by simply just like, this is something you do internally, you don't really write this down. This is just kind of a surrendering experience. So every belief you wrote down, just admit defeat to it. And the reason this is important is because you can't overcome old beliefs while still operating within the same belief system. I want to say that again. You can't overcome old beliefs while still operating within the same belief system. That's what most of us are trying to do when we're trying to change. We hold on to a negative belief while trying to create a new belief. And we're being held down by this anchor, wondering why it's so hard to move forward when we are anchored into the floor. What if we just admit defeat? Okay, done. I'm done with that. You win. What most of us do is we identify a problem and we just continue to stay in that same mindset. Admit defeat. You're not going to overcome the problem while still holding on to the problem. This is a really subtle thing. So it's all internal. You can't, this is not like a pragmatic thing. This is just like an awareness. Oh shit, okay, I let go of it. First, you have to identify what it is. Step 4, moving on. We have to create a new belief. We've let go of the old belief. So now we're kind of in this new chapter. Now we're open now. What kind of beliefs do I want to begin to create and embody? What is going to allow me to be my boldest, most expressive, most successful, healthiest, happiest, most abundant self? And this is where you can use your imagination now. What would I have to believe to be true in order for me to achieve my dreams? Make a list. Okay. Write 5 to 20 new beliefs that just empower you, that just feel so in alignment. And the way you know they're in alignment is they light up your body. Your nervous system just feels so blissed out and so empowered. Like I said, we're getting really pragmatic here. This is not like, okay, you are worthy of success. And oh, now, okay, that's right. Now I can be free. No, we have to really identify what we're holding on to. Okay. One more step before we get into the hypnosis component of this. And again, this one is less pragmatic and it's more of a internal shift. Here's what I have written down. Step 5 is fully devote yourself to your mission and act immediately. Most people make the mistake of identifying something they're holding on to, then they let it go, and then they identify what they need to do, what they need to believe, but nothing changes. And they continue to tolerate the same behavior. Or, and this is almost as bad, they barely change. They like, here's their comfort zone, and they realize they need to step outside of their comfort zone because that's what everyone's saying, and they know it's true. So like they like take a little step like right here. That's better. That's amazing. It's all great. Everything's great. Not even changing your life, that's great too. But if you want a drastic change, you have to drastically leap outside of your comfort zone and act immediately. You have the ability to radically transform your life by simply deciding to do so. You have it, regardless of how many times you struggled in the past, regardless of how many times you've let yourself down. You can radically shift your life by simply deciding to do so and acting accordingly. We overcomplicate transforming our lives. So we have to have so many things set up. And we have to have all these things before we can even set these things up. No, you can just decide and allow that energy to influence new behavior. But nothing's going to change until you change. So fully devote yourself to your mission. Why are you here? Answer the call. Say yes. Say yes to yourself. Say yes to God's guidance. Okay, now let's talk a little bit about hypnosis and how you can begin to use hypnosis to overcome imposter syndrome. So Let's take a couple breaths here to see what I'd like to say now. The reason hypnosis and hypnotherapy is so effective is it bypasses your conscious analytical mind and it speaks directly to your subconscious mind, the part of your mind that influences 90 to 95% of your experience of reality. So it's more or less a hack to radically transform your life. Now, before this call, I recorded a hypnosis specifically to help you overcome imposter syndrome. So if you want access to it for free, no strings attached, just comment down below the words. What would I like for you to say? Comment down below the word hypnosis, and I will send you the free guided hypnotic recording to help you overcome imposter syndrome by putting you in the state of being this confident and bold and expressive and mission-driven version of yourself. We have to rewire the brain, rewire the body, rewire the biology to this new state. And that does not happen by you just deciding, okay, this is what I want to do. No, we have to go deeper. We have to get in a hypnotic trance-like state so we can speak to the subconscious. Because right now I'm talking to your analytical mind, your conscious mind, and you're questioning everything that I'm saying. You're comparing it to what everybody else around you is saying. You're comparing it to your past and the books that you've read. And it's hard to penetrate empowering ideas. But when you're in a trance-like state, which this recording does for you, it's far easier to ignite a quantum leap, to experience a quantum leap. That's what we're here to do, my friends. So if you want access to that hypnosis recording to help you overcome imposter syndrome, just comment down below the word hypnosis. I'll send it to you immediately. No strings attached. It's free. Just check it out. Really, I'm sharing this because I know the beauty of finally overcoming imposter syndrome. The amount of time wasted that I harbored. Oh my goodness, I'm afraid of what other people are going to think of me. Oh wow, I hid for such a long time. And it's all beautiful. It's all perfect. I don't regret it. But it's being on the other side is like way cooler. It really is. It's a lot more enjoyable. I feel complete with today's live. I got to get ready for a little sales call here. Last thing, if you want to join a community of embodied leaders, people who are on a mission to radically transform this world, just comment down below the word community. I have a free group full of like-minded people. We're doing really, really cool stuff. And it's a ton of fun to be a part of. So if you'd like to join that for free, just comment down below the word community. Aside from that, I suppose the final thing, if you enjoyed this video at all, the greatest thing you can do is share it. Click that share button. It's the only way this message is going to get out. So please do so. I love you all.